What up, guys? It is Crush Starfields here, back once again for the grand finale, week 6 of the Producer Lockdown Challenge. And it's gonna get crazy. Alright, fellas, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Good news is we got 6 producers this week. We got the full lineup. It's good. It's going to be juicy. The bad news is I couldn't get a hold of 2 of them for the interviews. So we're going to skip them. But we're still going to play their tracks. And it's going to be amazing. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I got the rest of the boys also in for a group interview instead of individual interviews. So that was good. I was going to get them all together. That was the first time they all spoke with each other and had a good chat online. And we had a chat afterwards as well, after we did the interview. So, yeah, we got a few different scenarios running this today. And it's, yeah, it's going to be what it is. So we're going to dive right into this shit. And yeah, we're going to just, get into this stuff. All right, so we're going to just cut across to the interviews. I think he had a few things to say. I'm not too sure. But let's just cut across there and see what's happening. Boom. Shabam. And I'm here with the boys. We're doing a group chat for the last grand finale. We're missing a couple of them, but I will try and hopefully they'll jump on at some point during this chat. And yeah, we're all hitting it up. We got Whiteheart, we got Peztek, and we got my cousin Okulusion in his house. Say what up, fellas. It's the boys. We're sort of freestyling this because we haven't done a group chat before, so apologies for any fumbles, but we're gonna make this shit happen. Alright, we're back here and we're gonna hit this shit. Someone hit me with a drum roll because we're about to play the first track. Impact! Alrighty, first up is Amawani, my man. Unfortunately, we did not get an interview with Amawani. He went AWOL. Don't know where he is. Hope he's okay. Don't know, he just disappears on us. He comes and goes. He's like it's like a little butterfly. Comes in, drops his track off, and then sometimes he doesn't drop the track off. Sometimes he just flutters by. He's like, hey man, what's up? And then he disappears. And then we hear from him a few days later. But we're going to play his track. He handed his track in, which is good. And his track is called, let me double check. His track's called Beef Stew. So we're going to jump into that right now. Let me get some sound effects. An air raid siren just for the intro. Hit it. Alrighty, that was Beef Stew by Amawani. Sounding pretty thick, sounding pretty good. Not bad for our last grand finale. I enjoyed that one better than I like the last track, but I like this one better. This one's had a bit more funk to it. I was yeah, not bad, mate, not bad. Yeah, what else? Had some cool chords in there. There was a little cheeky bit in there somewhere, like you think the track, and then for one beat, it just like goes to the side and comes back. I was like, had a little giggle when I heard that bit. I liked it. Yeah, we're just gonna keep rolling because we've got 6 producers, and this video is gonna be long as it is. So let's keep this shit rolling. It's time to hit the next producer. And as you know, it's early in the morning, so it's always when I'm in my worst shape, but always trying to do this damn video. But I'm off as usual. You know, I'm always making excuses. But let's keep it rolling. And who we got? We got Peztek. Yeah, let's jump into Peztek's interview. We got an interview with my man. Let's jump into it. Shabam. It's going to be Peztek's interview. We're jumping into that now. Peztek, the final week. How did you go?
Look, it was good. Don't get me wrong. Apart from, I didn't feel like making music this week. And you get that.
You and all of us. Yeah, I think we all sort of we shrugged it on the shoulder this last week. Instead of bringing the pain like the classic style, we dragged our carcasses over the finish line for all of us. And whatever we had, some were missing limbs, some had no clothes on, blown off fucking shotgun, naked bodies stumbling over the line. So tell us what you got this week, Pez. How'd you go?
So I got a song called Captain Pez. Basically, I wanted to simulate a plane flying through the sky. So we got the start of the song, a chopper, an aeroplane, or some type of aircraft in the sky. Nothing too spacey, different. Just made the sounds from scratch, just using analog synthesizers. So we're having a bit of fun. Then I get to the main section where I'm saying, look, this is pretty much introduce myself over the CV. You're in for a bumpy ride. And then the song begins. And then I did nothing for about until Monday. So then I jumped back on Monday. I said, you know what? It's the last week. Got to make it. So I tried my best for a couple of days. Did the best we could. Went full power. Well, Tuesday, Wednesday night, I worked all the way to about 9 o'clock from 4 till 9. Thursday night, probably submitted at about 11 o'clock. And I said to the boys, mate, best I can do. I'm going to bed. I got work tomorrow morning. So it's an adventure. Especially when you do a song, when you pick up one piece from here, then you continue a couple days later, your mentality's different and the texture of the song will always change. So it's a bit of a journey as per usual. But you hear my voice. For once, it's my voice.
Yeah, making a debut appearance on our grand finale. Should be good. It's good. It's good to see you like, I'm not doing a space theme, but you're just lowering the atmosphere. You're going from space to sky. and soon you'll be down to an Earth theme. And
soon
then
it'll be stratosphere.
Yeah, that's it. What else? What else have we got for you? So let's see how the week went. I was going to ask everyone this week. I'm going to do it one at a time in each of your interviews. But being the grand finale, I want to know what your go-to plugin is, or VST, or effect. What is the one plugin that, or even hardware that that's the one you like? You only get one, and you're like, this is the one that I'd just never throw out, or this is the one I'm always going to use.
I know my answer. My answer's a bit of controversy behind it. If you're an Ableton fan, man, I'm a sucker for operator. You can do everything with operator if you learn how to tune it. So I love it. Don't get me wrong, I use a couple other things. I'm pretty big on using a synthesizer, like Roland's analog synthesizers, like your TB03 or SH101, or your 106s, anyone familiar with Roland, but I've got them in like VST form, so they're not actual the synthesizer itself. It's on the computer. But look, if I could only choose one, and I've only ever used Ableton, so I don't know the other programs what they're specialty in, but I like Operator.
Yeah, because all your paid stuff is usually hardware synths, is it? You don't use many software VSTs, as far as I'm aware. You'll use all the Ableton stuff.
I use about maximum like 2 or 3. That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't use many. I try and use all hardware if I can.
You're a hardware purist.
Yeah, I like it. Every week I try and trade a synth. I don't know if you've seen the label.
He does it from scratch. We're all sitting there fucking around. Yeah, we're all sitting there fucking.
At our house, it's just like, oh, you got this synthesizer now. What, is it going to last 1 week or 2 weeks? I'm like, nah, give me a month.
Yeah, we're all sitting here fucking around with samples and shit on Splice and.
No,
Pez.
so
You're the one making them.
Yeah, Pez isn't. Like me and White Heart, we're all doing samples. I think even Matt Dyer, we all like make it. Not make it. We dig them up. You guys make them, we dig them up. Good stuff. So we are jumping into this track. We're gonna do this shit right now. This is unless you want to add anything. You got anything you want to add, Pez?
No, look, you know what? I had a lot of fun. So this song, I wanted it to represent my trip to India. What was it, 2017, 2018? So
Indian Brothers.
I wanted to represent that. It was got mad vibes. Absolute mad vibes. So we got that. Wow, something attacked me. Wow.
You just lost the sound panel.
Vibes going through it. 145 full power. And yeah, enjoy it.
Sweet as.
Have fun.
So this is it. Peztek's Captain by Peztek. Let's jump into that shit right now.
All right, we're back here, and this is Captain by Peztek. Hey, Peztek. And it's gonna be crazy. Never gets old, or does it? All right, let's play this track. Captain by Peztek. Let's hit it. Oh yeah. Fuck. Siren. Yeah.
This is your captain speaking. This is your captain speaking. We're in for a bumpy ride, so buckle the fuck up.
Alrighty, so that was Captain by Peztek. My man dropping a banger for the grand finale. What to say? Like, the bass line is sounding clear. Every week, his bass line and kick has gotten fatter and fatter. This week, it was cleaner. It's just, I'm seeing the improvement. That was my favorite track that he's done for the whole saga. I like the little voice. I could audibly hear the vocals, which was good. I could understand what he was saying. It was a bit more, I don't know how to explain it. A bit more drivey or like forward rolling. I don't know, but it had me going a little bit better. So yeah, it's great to see the improvements coming from everyone. But also, I'd just like to say, service announcement. I apologize to Peztek because the last 5 videos I fucked up his Instagram social handle. So it's wrong. It says Peztek, which is not his social. So on this video, I did the right one, which is obviously Peztek. I don't know why he waited till week 6 to tell me I fucked that shit up. But I've fixed it now, and that's all that matters. So let's kick on. All right. Who's ready for the next track? I don't know what's happening today. All right, what do I need? I need a drum roll. And we got Maestro in his house. We got no interview with Maestro. He is one of the other producers that has ghosted us in the interview process. But he did hand in a track. So he's like, yeah, check this shit out. I got nothing to say. And then he just fucks off somewhere. But he's got a family. So that's always the kicker. You know what I mean? As I said, everyone tells me how hard that shit is. And I don't plan on jumping into one of those anytime soon. So hats off to him for holding that shit down, but still writing a track pretty much every week. I think he only missed 1 week. He missed 1 week with the track, 1 week with the interview. I said it's a pretty fair effort for a man with a family. Can I get an air horn? Yeah! So no interview. Yeah, let's jump straight into his track. His track is called, let's have a look. It's called 6 Feet. I'm pretty sure I had a little sneaky peeky just so I knew what it was about. It's a like a hip hop track, like a drill track, I think he calls it. Basically, it's a beat you can rap over. Even I was listening to it, I could hear some raps going over the top of it. So let's jump into it. Let me get some announcements. So this is 6 Feet by Maestro. Hit me with the air horn.
Maestro, please. Purchase your tracks today. Maestro, please. Purchase your tracks today. Maestro,
There you go. That was 6 feet by Matt Maestro. Was it 6 feet? Yeah, 6 feet. Yeah, air horn. That track was good, man. It was like sneaky. It was dark. You know what it felt like? It felt like, this is what it felt like. It felt like I was a fat rat, like a big fat gangster rat. I'm in the back alleyway. I got my leather jacket on, my sunglasses on. I got my crew. They all got sunglasses on, chains and shit. We're just walking down the alleyway, you know, just sneaking around. And then we're just fucking jacking people. We're like, hey, bitch, give me your fucking cheese. That's what it felt like. We're just dominating that alleyway. That's the track. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's keep it rolling. How many more producers? We got 3 more producers to go. So we better keep it rolling with the drum beats. Oh. Alrighty. Crush Starfields, I'm up next. My man. Let's do this shit. Giving a little interview with myself. My track is called, I can't even remember what my track is called. It is called Wish You Were Here. Can't remember what it sounds like. It's all blurred together all these 6 weeks. But what was my track like? I know I did a little bit of singing in there. I wasn't too happy. I was going to take it out, and I was like, fuck it, just chuck it in. Just leave it there. It's a bit of a... How do I explain it? I feel like I need to hear a little bit of it to explain it. I can't even remember what it sounds... Oh yeah, it's a housey sort of track. It's got some pianos in there. Sort of a genre sort of feel, that old school... house track back in the day that you might know. I got a trumpet in there. I wasn't too happy with the trumpet sound. I couldn't get it to sound right because it's a synthesized trumpet. It's not a real trumpet. So obviously I don't have access to a whole arsenal of trumpet players, which is the sound I wanted, but I just couldn't get it in there. So I did my best to get it to fit in there just sounds a little bit out of place, but it's not a big deal. The strings are sounding all right. I love the chord progression in it. If I had a proper singer singing the vocals, it probably could have done a little bit better. But that being said, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So we're just going to jump straight into this track. It's called Wish You Were Here. It's by Crush Starfields. Yours truly. Hit it with the air horn. I mean, the air raid siren. And then we'll jump into the track. All right, that was Wish You Were Here by yours truly. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm way off with the effects this week, but that's fine because we made it. It is the 6th week, and we're just gonna waddle over that finish line. There's no powering through the finish line. This was a long haul. This was an endurance race, not a sprint. Yeah, so that was my track. Let's keep rolling into the next track because I got nothing to say about my track. Let's do this shit. Drum roll, please. And we got Whiteheart in the his house. Let's jump into his interview, his final interview. Shabir.
All right, we're back, and we are in with Whiteheart's interview. We're going to do a little walkthrough with him and see how he went or how he didn't went. How'd you go? Week 6, the grand finale.
Yeah, I struggled for this week. I think I got a little bit over it like everyone else. Like in the last week, it was a bit hard to make something. I tried making some weird melody, but everything I made just ended up sounding really weird. So I found like an old thing I started, which was almost like a trap R&B thing. I don't know what it is, 95 BPM. And it was like, basically I saw a trick online where, you know, Ghostbeat on FL? It's like a effect plugin. Basically it does this halftime thing. So I made some chords, half-timed it, and then it made this weird, slow kind of effect. Put that in there, put some drums, and then, yeah, it sounded okay. It made some weird melody. But if you listen to it, it sounds like it's like an FBI kind of, CSI kind of song. It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a struggle this week.
Yeah. I'll be excited to hear. Every time you say it's weird, I end up hearing it. I'm like, ooh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I think this is really weird. It only goes for like a minute and a bit, and it's just like, what the fuck? But
yeah.
It was something.
Just a minute. Yeah, as long as you get something in, like, yeah. I was never expecting, from the get-go, I honestly wasn't expecting full tracks from anyone. I was expecting maybe 2 minutes 30, max 3 minutes from everyone, to be honest. But then everyone sort of, for most of it, crammed out full track. So on the last one, hey, if it's a juicy 1 minute, mate, who gives a fuck? That's all.
That's what I've kind of learned from this whole challenge thing, because my tracks used to go for like a minute and a half, and then I would struggle finishing it. But I realised it's pretty simple. Literally copy the first half and just change it slightly, a little bit differently, and it's like, 3 minutes, bang.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I've realised from this challenge, because I used to struggle heaps. I'd make like a minute and a half or a minute, and I would just leave it, and I'd come back like 3 months later and be like, this doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
I might finish this. So yeah, kind of good.
Yeah, I that's exactly, yeah. I do you find that the most important thing is getting the structure down first? Like you get that first, your drop or your breakdown, and then you just quickly lay out a structure like around it. So once it's there, you can just sort of fill in the blanks. It's sort of, or because I know some of the other boys, they write section at a time, whereas I don't really do that. I get the structure down first. It tends to be a bit more quicker.
I tried to put like an actual professional track, like a reference track inside the door, and then try to copy it.
Yeah.
But then I realized like it's just, I think it's good to have as a reference, to have an idea of like how much you need to break down or whatever, whichever style you're going for. But it kind of like stuffs up the process if you stick to one section. I think for me personally, I'll just make some chords. I'll keep playing it over and over again, and then at some point, if I really like it, something will just kind of like click. I'll be like, I want to put this in there, I want to put that in there, and it kind of just grows from that.
Yeah. So
it's just like finding that little spark or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes forever. Like I'll listen to the same goddamn loop like all day, and nothing will happen. And then at some point, something will click and it'll work. I reckon that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't do the whole thing where you like put the whole track out in 2 seconds. I think that's better. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on what your preferences are, I guess. I think there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because I think, doing the structure, like, I don't get me wrong, I'll find the hook as quick as possible. I think that's sort of the key, as you said, like finding a hook or a spark or something that's going to... Because sometimes you hear like one synth line that you create, and then the whole song, you hear it automatically in your head, and then it's just a matter of trying to get that song as quick as you can onto the computer before you forget it or accidentally write a different melody that throws you off from the original idea. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Once you get that good solid idea, I think that's almost like the key. But yeah, structure, I find it, if you get that down, it makes it very easy to finish the track, because then you can just see it. You can be like, all right, you know exactly which sections you need to spend a bit more time on, and you know that once you do all your transitions, you're pretty much like just sprinkling that fucking parmesan cheese on the pasta. You know what I mean? That's it. So your track's called FBI.
Yeah.
A snippet. We'll call it
like
soundbite.
CSI thing. Sorry.
Yeah, soundbite. I should say, like we'll call it a track.
Yeah, it's like if you think of like Australia's Most Wanted or some shit like that, you'll hear like that's what it kind of feels like. It's this weird half beat kind of. It was just weird. I don't know. Literally, I just got very excited with gross beat and that halftime function, which is literally two melodies put in halftime, chopped up, and they sound in key. So and some drums on top of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, very FBI.
Yes. Sweet as. So we're gonna jump into that track unless you wanna add anything.
No.
Good to go. All right, we're jumping into it. This is FBI by Whiteheart. Hope you guys like it. Shabam.
All right, and we're back. This is Whiteheart's track called FBI. And it's just a little snippet. Goes for about a minute. It's not a full track, but it's something, and something is better than nothing. So, without further ado, FBI by Whiteheart. Here we go. Yep, so that was FBI by Whiteheart. It was a shorty, but it was a goodie. Would have been cool if it was a full track. I hope he goes back and finishes it, because I love shit like that. It's dope. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's like stuff I ain't heard before. And that's what I like, hearing new sounds. I don't like hearing... Like, I like a bit of the stuff that you hear, obviously. Usually in commercial radio or the popular scenes. I like all that stuff. But when I hear something that you're like, oh, I wouldn't hear that anywhere else, it's like a delicacy of music. I love it. But let's keep moving. We got one producer to go. And taking us out for the grand finale is my cousin Okulusion, the elusive Okulusion. Occlusive. Nah, it's Occlusion. Yes, he hasn't been with us for the whole week, but he's decided to jump in for the grand finale, which I'm excited about. Let's jump into this interview. Shabam.
And we're here with the elusive Occlusive, my cousin Josh, the man himself, finally showing his face. Yeah. Tell us how you went. I can't even say on the final. This is your first and final week, all in one. And he just made it.
I went. Let's say that much.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can really call it a song. It's kind of just two ideas that I glued together last minute and sent away.
Yeah.
Before the time limit, basically. I don't know. I've really been struggling mentally during this lockdown, and it's just I haven't been motivated, I guess, to really sit down in front of the computer any longer
Yeah.
than I have to.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was good though to like actually get something out there. And yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of like the production and whatnot, I think you know quite well that I only use Ableton's inbuilt stuff. That's it. I don't use any external VSTs.
Yeah.
I just kind of forced myself to learn how to get the sound I want
Yeah.
using just Ableton's things. And I've been doing that for the past, I want to say 5 years now.
Yeah.
Just Ableton's stuff. So yeah, like, I don't know. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, like, I know that you only use the Ableton plugins, but every time I hear your stuff, I'm just like, I need to set myself that, like, do exactly what you're doing, even though I've got other plugins, set myself that restriction so I actually learn to use it as well as you have, because I've heard some of your stuff before this, and it's always sounding, man, if not more powerful than the stuff that I'm mastering, like with Ozone and shit like that. So there's obviously a lot of things that you
tweak a lot.
Yeah.
All the little knobs and stuff. I'm
always really impressed with the stuff that you put out. So it's going to be exciting to hear this little your little 1 minute snippet.
My little idea, yeah.
But did you, like, apart from the mental challenges of it, do you, when you're writing, like, obviously you didn't write a full track, but did you find anything that you were struggling with in your minute and a half? Like, did you have to go over and have to do a bit of research before you worked on a bit of the idea, or did you just sort of have the idea, you have the skills, and then you just basically plopped it out on the 1 minute?
I have the idea. I think I didn't have the tool set. I think that's a big thing because I forced myself to use only Ableton stuff. I don't have a sample library anymore. I guess I got creative. There's a fair bit of my voice doing effects in there, just like going like and shh and stuff, like for rises, and then I've added effects to it to kind of cover the fact that it was done by me. But I think you'll find I've got a very odd production style compared to you guys, but it means to an end. Like Whiteheart was saying, like, there's no wrong answer when it comes to producing. It's all about what works for you and what gets the result in the end. And
That's exactly. That's what it's about, man. Just cramming it out. Just finding your system, I suppose, or trying a few different systems and seeing
what works for you.
What goes. So your track is called
Brahment.
Brahment. Yeah, you did.
There's like a bra moment.
Yeah. Brahment. We've all gathered here for this Brahment.
It was just the first thing that came to mind.
Now, what style? What style are we looking at?
Mm-hmm.
What style are we looking at, Josh?
I don't really know. Like electro, complextro, with like a bit of a very like above and beyond type intro, so to speak. It's hard to even call it an intro because the whole audio file is 1 minute, I think.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Sweet as. Well, hopefully it's balling like I know that it's probably going to be. And hopefully I'm going to love it and then force you to finish it after I hear it.
I don't think I can finish it. I'm looking to you guys to collab, Collab, bro.
Right, sweet. We'll tee something up. So you got anything to add? Otherwise, we're going to jump into your track.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. This is Brahman by Okulusion.
Shaban! Alright, so this is Brahman by Okulusion. And hopefully it's crazy. Let's hit me with the siren. And that was the short but sweet little snippet called Brahmin by Okulusion, my cousin Okulusion. I love it. I knew it was going to be good because it always is. I've heard him before, obviously, because he's family. So I've heard his stuff before. He's done remixes of my old stuff and tinkered around. I've heard some of his electronic stuff. I knew it was going to be good. But once again, I wish it was a full track. I hope he goes and does something with it. I know he wants us to do, or one of the boys to do a collab with him to finish that project up, but it needs to be finished. It needs, put it on the list. Put it on the list. So that pretty much wraps it up. I'll just jump back to the boys with our little final piece out section that I had in a group chat. So let's jump to that. Boom. Shabam.
All right, so boys, we'll do a little outro. We'll jump straight into it anyway. I'll do a little. First, I'll do. What should I ask you first? How did you feel now that it's all over? How do you feel? Like, I'll go with you, Pez, first.
Oh, look, I feel great. Like, not much is going to change in my sense. I like the idea of doing as much as I can in a certain deadline, whether it be a week, whether it be 2 weeks. Then when you get that deadline, it all has to be done. Stop there. And if you want to make a really good track, maybe, come back in 2 weeks' time and put another deadline. You got a week to finish it properly or a week to change it. And then after that, be done with it.
Yeah.
Be happy, be done, be complete. Like, having deadlines works really well.
Yeah.
I find that I'm either cramming last second because you know you're going to finish it, where in the real world, if this never happened, you'd be like, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
I'll do it later.
Yeah.
And then you'll notice, for me, if I do it later, depending what mentality you're in, some days you've had a hard week at work and you're feeling angry or whatever it is. Sometimes you're feeling uplifted and your type of music, you're not going to make it. It's not always going to be the same. So if you can get as much as you can in the same head frame, or you come into a studio where it's dedicated and it's like you're switching a glass on or something, or your vision is come into the studio, I'm here to make music, nothing else bothers you, everything's going to be the same. And yeah, so for me, I like the idea of a deadline. Let's do a week all the time. I'll make as much as I can. Then I might reevaluate in a week's time, manipulate it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's been really good.
Yeah, that's true. I found that too, like with because you got the deadline, when you jump in there, you sort of almost have tunnel vision. So you're like, fuck, I need to EQ. So you're just cutting all the fat from your mind from straying and doing dumb shit to just, I have the idea, put it in. But the only downside is that you don't have that breathe period for your tracks. Because I think a good thing to do is to, like, you write a track, you spend like a week writing a track. Then you let it sit in your Google Drive so you can listen to it in your car every now, like not looking at your screen for like a week. You go back and listen and you can hear a bit better about exactly what you need to tweak, which you don't have the opportunity to do that. So it's a plus side, but I think that was the idea of the challenge, was to able to get when you are focusing and you need to do it, like just you can get in there and it helps you sort of flex that muscle a little bit. Otherwise, when you're stuck in creative mode, you go off with the fairies for ages.
Yeah, go on forever.
Yeah, like you might be writing something and you're like, oh, I could do that or figure it out, but I'll spend the next half hour watching a YouTube video instead. Whereas there's none of that going on now. It's just like, fuck, I need to just do it. It needs to happen.
Man, I used to do the best of that, watching videos for like 3 hours and making music for half an hour. Oh, I worked for 4 hours, everyone.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
What about you, Josh? Even though it was just 1 week for you, but how'd you find?
It's like this song I was kind of working on, like bits and pieces throughout. Like when I just needed some alone time, like that's when I write music, and that's when I like open up Ableton and just mess around with all like effects and parameters and just really experiment. I'm like a bit of a crazy scientist in terms of my approach, and just trying different things and then seeing what works. I don't really have I don't really come up with a song structure or anything like that. I kind of just go with the flow. I think that like is a bit of a like callback to my my musical upbringing, and that like I used to love like improvising and jamming over tracks and backing tracks and whatnot. And I'm like in isolation. I'm really missing being with my band and just making music with people.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that like focus, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think like I really wish I had Nick's self-discipline, I guess, when it comes to writing music alone, and that, like setting myself deadlines and time limits. But yeah, like this was a good to, like, I guess, push me in that little bit to get something done and just put it out there and be happy with it as it is.
It's also like, even if you didn't achieve like crazy amounts, it's still good because it will spotlight what areas maybe you need to look at in the future to improve on, stuff like that. It means like,
totally.
as you said, like it's highlight. Yeah, it's a bit of the discipline thing's a little bit of a tricky thing as well. Because I know in my early days, I used to go off more the feels. I'd only write if I felt like writing, and I would only sort of do that. Whereas later in my later years, I've found that building a routine or a system that you're used to, even if you don't feel like writing music, the motivation to stay in your routine outweighs that. So then you just end up doing it anyway. So you'll have days where you end up cramming out the good stuff, and other days where you might have to do something, maybe not on the creative side, but you might do something like a more technical side. So you might mix a little bit instead of creating.
I love like messing around with sound design, with Ableton's effects and seeing like how far I can push that. And that's personal.
I'm happy to do a bit of collabing with you after this, so you can help me with tweak my my Ableton plugin skills. I definitely want to learn some shit. But
I'm glad like I got involved just to like make some new connections, network a bit, I guess. And,
that's the main feature.
Look forward to potentially writing some music with you guys.
Yeah, I'm down for that shit. Tarek, how did you find the whole experience, the overall feel? What'd you get from it?
I think it was pretty good. Just like Pez was saying before, I did the exact same thing where I'll watch YouTube videos for like 2-3 hours and then do 10 minutes and I feel like I've done 3.5 hours or something of work and I haven't done anything. I don't know. I think it's pretty good though, because like you kind of just have an idea, you smash out in a week and it's done, and then you just leave it and you move on to something else. You don't have to keep listening to the same thing over and over again. Like I had a bad habit of making a loop or whatever, and then a month later I'm still making the same thing, and it gets to the point where it does my head in. Like I hate listening to this thing, but I've spent so much time on it that now I have to finish it, and it's just a shit house. So this way you kind of get it over and done with, and it's whatever. And also, like I looked at my SoundCloud, and it's like you'll see like 3 tracks in the past like maybe 2 years or something, and I'm like, what the fuck have I been doing? Like, have I even made any music? Like, there's nothing there. Like, it's 3 tracks. And then you like read up about other people and like trap producers, for example, that make like, I don't know how many, like 100 tracks in like a week or something, or 100 beats. It might be easier to make, or whatever, 20, like it's a minute loop or something. You can argue that, but still, they have so many, like, so much things to complete. So I think it's good in that sense. And also, I've listened to, what's his name, Skrillex. I think what he does, apparently, he makes a bunch of loops in a day. He'll make like sounds he likes or whatever. He'll just save them and he'll keep doing that all day, right? And then the next week he'll come back to them, and whichever one he likes, he'll make into a song. So I kind of wanted to do that. I wanted to increase my productivity and just be able to look back in a year and be like, hey, I made 15 tracks. Maybe I can make an album or something.
Yeah, 100%.
That's kind of, I think the whole thing helped that, basically.
Yeah. Sometimes even if you're just cramming tracks, like you got to, I think a mistake that everyone makes, they got in their head, I don't know whether it's you guys, but I knew I used to do this, that I want this track to be the best or my hit or the perfect track, and then you just don't end up fucking finishing because there's always shit you can add onto it. Whereas
so much pressure, I guess, that you put on yourself when you have that mentality.
Whereas
that's a downfall in the end.
And if you show it to someone and someone doesn't like it, you get heartbroken. You're like,
oh my god,
so much time making that goddamn thing, and you just don't even like this shit. But now you have like 15 tracks, so it doesn't matter. There's another 14 you might like.
Especially if you're making
and see what sticks.
If you're making all different genres, you're not attached to any one song anyway. You know that's still a part of you. So if people like one of your tracks, they don't like the other. It's just gonna slide right off you because you got so much content coming out. But I think once you've released like a few, because everyone knows I went through a phase where for a year I released like a fucking shit butt ton of tracks when I was doing under Vixie Trixon, and yeah, those like looking back on those tracks, even though like the like mixed down shit, everything's not the best. The ideas were there, but you could tell I didn't have the technical skill to get the idea perfectly onto the computer. But
If you
still
have the
looking,
files, you can always go back to them. And then
yeah.
just
Well, that's the
fix
thing.
them
Yeah,
up.
touch them up.
Yeah.
But
You know, I'm down to like deconstruct some of those. And,
yeah, I know.
yeah, give you my sound design input.
That's it. But yeah,
Yeah, I
those.
remember hearing there was a few that you had that were really, really good.
Yeah,
Like
so-
the whole like the structure of it.
but that's the thing. If I'd never crammed out that many tracks, I would have never gotten those nuggets of gold. It's like you've almost got to
Totally.
sift through all the sand anyway. So you may as well just
Yeah,
finish the track, finish a track. You might hate 3 of them, but 2 of them might be amazing. That you're like, oh, you know what, that's actually a brilliant idea. I might want to go back and polish that. So I think that's what I've learned from this challenge is have a phase. So every, I don't know, maybe once every 2 months, go through a 3-week period or a 4-week period where I do exactly what I've done with you guys here today by myself, like just shit out 4, 5 tracks as quick as I can, you know, and then look back on those 4 tracks, even if they're not like just the ideas, and just be like, all right, I'm going to pick that one, and those are the ones I'm going to roll with. The other ones can, you know, just maybe upload all your B grade stuff to SoundCloud as a little like Easter egg, and then put your other stuff on DistroKid
Distribute the other ones,
or your juicy stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been a pretty fucking bit of an eye opener. Good way to good lessons to learn. It's good that everyone's got something out of it, and yeah, it's able to push them a little bit further. So I'll do a little round robin with we've done Pez for the VSTs. I forgot to do the other boys, so we'll do them now. Favorite VST or plugin? Okulusion?
operator. Yeah.
Operator. Solid. Solid stuff. What about you, Terry? White Heart?
I don't. I kind of like switch between plugins. I generally use like Serum, Splice, and Silent. It used to be like massive on Silent, but then I stopped using that. Spire is the one that's really cool, and Serum are really good. Serum is like, if you like tinkering with stuff, you should definitely try Serum, Josh, because it's like next level. There's so much things that can do.
Wavetable, which is a very similar.
Similar?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
What's this? Yeah, wait, it's a wavetable synth. Yeah.
I've heard a few people talking about that. I don't even know what that is. I'm like, I haven't even seen that. Is it on 10? Live 10?
Yep.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. Okay. Because I've heard a few things about that.
Yeah,
Because I've
it's
been
really good.
listening to a few production podcasts lately, just to kill time and shit like that. If I'm doing house cleaning, I'll chuck a podcast on, so I'm learning a bit of stuff from the industry and whatever I can to do with music. And I've heard that Wavetable brought up so many times when they're being asked what their favorite plugins are. Wavetable's been one. It's almost one that I'm getting the gist that it's underestimated. Like a lot of people are like,
Oh, it's very powerful. I think
Yeah.
the main, like a lot of Ableton's inbuilt things, just because the interface is crammed into that one little like guitar effects pedal kind of thing. Yeah, it can be a bit off-putting, and like the routing's a bit complicated. It's there's a lot of reading that you have to do to actually do all the routing. But yeah, that's not to say that it can't achieve the same sounds that your written one.
yeah, sweet as. Yeah, I'll definitely be sussing that out. So I think that's a wrap, because otherwise this video is going to be long as thick. So we'll wrap it up, boys. I'd like to thank everyone. I'd like to thank the White Heart for coming up with the idea. I'd like to coming up to me and going, man, we should do this challenge. And then I'd like to thank everyone else for playing along and jumping on board when I put it to the idea to them. Thank you for doing the interviews, taking the time to out of your day to help me to get some form of video. And I'm sure in like 10 years time the videos will still be on YouTube and shit, so when you look back you'll be like, fuck, that's what I was doing fucking 10 years ago in lockdown. So it'll be a good memory for all of us, I think. So yeah,
Remember the big groan.
yeah. The Rona. So yeah, thanks boys, and yeah, that's a wrap for us. I'll have to do the interview separately with the other boys, but yeah, thanks fellas. And that's it.
Right.
That's it. Grand finale. I'll sure do a little outro video by myself with some sound effects and shit as always. And that's it. Shebang.
All right, so it's back with me. I'm just taking it out for us. Sorry I couldn't do anything special for the grand finale. It was a very haphazard grand finale with people missing for their interviews, short tracks coming in delayed. It was probably one of the toughest weeks for me. They did promise they were going to make it hard for me, and that they fucking did. But not as hard as they made it for themselves, because I'm still rolling. And that's it. Thanks, everyone. I'd like to, big thank you to everyone who played along, everyone who was there for the whole weeks. Thank you very much for making the time for the interviews. Thank you very much for, even if you were there for 1 or 2 weeks, just popping in. That's also amazing. It made the weeks a little bit more interesting. Thanks to everyone who's like been watching it, who's chucked us a watch and enjoyed just spending some time with us during lockdown. To thank everyone. And yeah, hopefully I'll be doing another challenge. I'll be releasing a few songs now after this. Won't be any more producer challenge videos. But in a few more months, we might start a new challenge when we all smash our heads together and come together to put something together for you. So, without further ado, peace out, everyone. It was great being here, and thanks for being part of the 2020 Producer Lockdown Challenge. It was crazy. Shabam!